I think we discussed in the last session is about the retro, you know, how we can generate the retro waste types. Okay, uh, for basic HRA and all this stuff. Okay, so I think we are working on a schema which is the international schema of payroll. Okay, in that we have a retro, uh, what you say, sub schema, right? XRRO, which we copy to, okay, to our RO, R0. Okay, okay. So what here we have done here is we have created two PCRs and we have modified one PCR. Okay, so we'll just discuss what we you know done for these three PCRs. Okay, so initially what we have done, we have created a PCR called ZR10. Okay, okay, which will be called with PORT. Okay, PORT stands for it is old result for that particular period. Okay, as if I am explaining from the schema, retro schema, if you see here, okay, there is a when the block of the retro schema begins. Okay, so after the comment line, the initial part itself, there is a condition with if. Okay, if, then in parameter 2, if it is O, it will check is it the original run or not. Okay, so for we'll in another screen we'll just run the payroll as well. Okay, and we'll just see. Okay, for international payroll driver. Okay, I'm just doing a test run. Okay, so okay, for the period for month of February, we are processing the payroll. Okay, so now there is a change in his base salary effective from 1st of January. Okay, in info type 8. Okay, so what it will happen, it will go back to the previous. If you see number of periods, it is 2. Okay, so number of months in this case. So let us say these are the two runs happened for the month of February. Okay, one is retro part of January, and the other one is the current period. Okay, so now system will identify with this. Okay, by default, if there is a if function with O, okay, system will identify this particular run is for retro, and this particular run is for current period. Means this will be the original period. Okay, so if the in period and for period are same, so system will recognize that this is the original period and this is the retro period. Okay, so in original period, okay, this is the PCR we will read. Okay, else stands for if it is retro period. Okay, if it is not original means it is a retro period. So if it is else, all these lines, okay, will be, okay, processed in the payroll. Okay, then it will end if. Okay, within the if functionality as well, you can insert multiple conditions again. If it is not the original one, so it will go to else. Okay, within that if condition, you can put another if condition. Okay, if the loop was gone through, okay, this one, okay, results, then it will, there is a condition, then these lines. Okay, else we have, okay, some other lines to process. Okay, so then the in between, if condition will close with end if. Okay, the very first if original period okay, should end with another end if. Okay, whenever there is a if condition starts, you have to close it with end if. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is the first day as well we discussed when we discussed about the retro part. Okay, so here what I have done is initially I have created a rule with you know ZR10. Okay, so you can see the rule over here. Okay, so ZR10. Okay, what it will do, it will call it will the PCR will be called with PORT. Okay, if you see here in the uh, retro schema in the log. So if original, the lines in between if and else won't read and else will start reading. Okay, so within the else, okay, within the loop of results tables. Okay, so your PCR ZR10 will be called with PORT. Okay, stating that uh, your ORT, okay, should be
तब भी
your
ठीक नहीं लग रही है, मेरे को
input.
फीवरिश
Okay,
लग रहा
whatever the old
है। दवाई लाना।
wage types. Let us say we have changed in base salaries, say from 92 to some 93 if I'm not wrong. So this is the old RT what exactly employee got in the previous month. Okay, so in the month of January. Okay, this is old RT and we have made the PCR like this.
हुआ था लास्ट टाइम। पूछती हूँ।
उसने बोला कि श्वेता भी went to the session, we got her
Right.
message very
So
late.
what here I have
So we
done,
started.
I have taken, okay, irrespective to his PCR grouping and the waste types. Okay, after that I have used a operation waste type compare question mark transfer. So here I am just comparing the waste types within the ORT, means if this is a 0100 or 0200 or 1 OVR. Okay, so I am subtracting the values from a CF waste types. Okay, these waste types I was created. Okay, 0110 for a a carryover waste type. So ideally, when you want to generate areas for any of the waste type, okay, you have to create two waste types. One will be acting in the retro periods. Okay, it can be several retro periods. Okay, it is not as of now in our example today we are just discussing one period back for the retro. So if you see, it can be n number of periods. Okay, so these particular waste types will act in the retro periods to capture the differences from the ORT to what you say uh, to the difference table. Okay, so the initial PCR will subtract from these waste types. Okay, 0110. If it is 0200, which is I think HRA. Okay, it will subtract from 210. Okay, vice versa. Okay, you can see here. Okay, so this is what exactly it happened. Okay, if you click on any of the waste type, your rule won't get processed because we have not defined anything under this tab. Okay. So what exactly it will happen is, if you see here, okay, 0100 will get subtracted from the difference table. This is the place where I define it should subtract from the different table. Okay, FCBWT is subtraction from the difference table from this particular waste type. Okay, after this point the difference table uh, with this waste type should be minus 92,000 for basic salary, for example. Okay, I think you can't see the difference table over here, but we'll okay. So I will tell you how to print the DT table also over here. That will be, I think we'll discuss at the end. Okay. So later what it will happen, it will go to the if. Okay. If the loop was gone here, So then I have created a ZR20 PCR over here. If you see this function will be, this PCR will be called with a function called PRT, okay, which is process current result, okay, process RT table. Okay, this is process old RT table and this is process RT table. If you see the present RT now, in the old RT the basic is 92. Okay, in the present RT for the month of January it is 93. Okay, so now what we have done in ZR20. Okay, in ZR20, okay, I just texted it, we are calling it with PRT. Okay, so now it is, okay, adding the value so to the same waste tag which we have defined in ZR10. Okay, from the same table, okay, difference table. So initially it was subtracted 92,000, so the value will be minus 92,000, and here we are adding 93,000. Okay, the area of the waste type, now this waste type in the difference table will be the difference of ORT and RT. Okay, if there is no difference, the amount will be zero. Okay, if there is a difference, it can be positive or negative. So in this case, it is a 1,000 plus. Will add to this particular waste type in difference table. Okay, for each and every retro period. Okay, so that is what here it will happen. Okay, for monthly salary. Okay, so it will add to 0110. Similarly for the remaining wages as well. Okay, so these things you can uh, what you say, you can see in the current period as well. Okay, we can just see the difference table in the current table, sorry, current payroll run. Okay, so if you go for the current period, so now your if will have a this thing, there is no else lot because this is the original period. So it was reading ZR30. Okay, in ZR30 the input, because I am calling this PCR with PDT. Okay, so DT will be the input for this table. Okay, so DT can be for different periods. If you see, DT table was designed in such a way where it will print, okay, per period, for period, and year as well. Okay, so here you can identify this area of this 1,000 came from which period? This came from the first period of 2016, that is January 2016. Okay. Likewise, let us say if some area is coming from, say, for example, uh, you know, September 2015. Let us say, for example. Okay. So there will be another entries. Okay, with the time, period stamp with 02 and 2016. Sorry, 2015. Okay, 09 and 2015. Okay, likewise, your DT table will enhance and it will print for n number of retro periods. Okay, so now we have a difference of 1,500. Okay, of the retro values. Okay, so finally what it will do, so we'll just capture in this PCR. If you see ZR30, so this we have copied from X041. Okay, we are already defined some logic for /551, which we discussed in the first session, right? So this is the standard retro base tag, okay, which acts as 0110 in the retro time, and which will generate /552, which is the actual area which will flow into the current payroll period. Okay, so here I have added our custom waste types, and finally 0120, 0220. Okay, if it is there 01v2, I am going to generate the difference areas, okay, in the current period. So the area, whatever the difference is there, it will flow to 0120, okay, and 0220 ideally. Okay, likewise. Okay, you see the RT table. I think I am directly pushing to RT table. So where I define it as RT table, ADDWT. If I give E over here, it will push to RT. Okay, you can go to the documentation further to check. Okay, previously in the previous PCRs, I have defined it as D. Okay, where I want to push to DT table, but here it's already a defined value. I don't want to do any further changes to that. So I'm straightforward pushing to results table straight away from here. Okay, so finally, if you see the results, okay, you can see the areas of 1,000 of base salary. Okay, HRA you have this much. Okay, and the same thing I printed in the payslip as well. Okay, any questions?
Krishna, in order to reflect the correct amount here, since they are the custom wages, do we need to do any changes in the remuneration statement also?
To print the things?
Yeah, I mean here, like I don't know, maybe you did before, but it's like one for one 100 is equal to one for one 100 minus some values are there, right? Same thing. Like, do we need to adjust anything in the remuneration statement to reflect exact total gross, total net, all those things?
No, no, not really. I will just explain. Okay, so it's like when you see the remuneration statement. Okay, so this is your net pay. You can say here this, right? Take home.
Right.
Okay, this will be mapped by default with slash 560. Okay,
Okay.
slash 560 is the net pay. Okay, so let us say there is a area called slash 552.
Okay. That's
Okay,
good. Uh-huh.
yeah. So I generally by standard what it will happen, the slash 552. Okay, the slash 551 will be added to slash 552 as well as slash 560 as well. Okay, so this
Okay.
is total difference.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
it
Got
is
it.
not like individual difference. This is the basic, this is HRA, this is overtime. There can be n number of custom areas may form. Okay, finally, let us say there is a area of 1,000 because of basic salary. Okay, there is area of 500 deduction. Let us say coming out. Okay, so 500 is the minus one and the basic 1,000 is plus one. Finally, the difference is 500. Okay,
Right.
so here this wastage will store 500. It won't store that 1,000 separately and 500 separately.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
one is deduction, one is payment. So the total final difference amount will be added to this. Okay, so accordingly 560 may reduce or may increase. Okay, so this is finally the net pay of the employee, which will be mapped here.
Oh,
Okay, here I'm displaying individual wages over here areas. Okay, if all the areas okay are mapped correctly by default, your net pay and this total will become same.
yeah, got it. So basically, you're not adding the net here by using 560 directly, and 560 is just part of standard. That one. I got it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So
Uh,
if you see,
Mr.
yeah, yes, I finished.
So, in real-time scenario, how the clients are asking? They are asking separate areas, or they are asking a consolidated area?
Many times they will ask separate, separate.
So, general
Unless and
tendency is
until
asking
if
separate.
they have, multiple, wages. Okay, so few of the clients, I'm telling most of the time they will ask this one. Okay, even we have worked with few of the clients, which they will map slash 552 itself. Okay, and they will give a separate wage statement for employees if, whenever they require.
Mhm.
Okay,
Oh,
but you should know both the process.
just for the differences, Krishna, they get a separate
Yes, yes.
statement.
See,
Oh,
generally, what client will tell if I give a statement to the employee, employee should know what is the basic area, what is the HR. This is a simple case which I explained. Okay, let us say there are n number of deductions as well. In the case of you can say industrial workers. Okay, so let us say they should know for the previous month how much is the canteen, how much is this one was got area and all this stuff. Okay, so they will think, some of the clients will think that is really required to give a detailed pay slip for the employee. especially for the manufacturing companies, definitely it will be a detailed payslip. Okay, if it is not a manufacturing company, only salaried employees are there. There they don't really bother that much, and they will just show the difference where we don't have industrial workers and we don't have that many disputes over there. If some of the employees uh, requires, they can give a wage type statement for them. Okay, but both will work. Okay, you can remove if the client don't want these to be displayed, you remove all the areas from your remuneration statement. Okay, and you can uh, print what you say, our /552 in the payslip. Okay, so here if you remember, I have not really mapped wage types directly to the you know 51 sorry into the payslip. So here what I mentioned, I have just put star F1 in the payments. Okay, I'm not giving all the stuff over here. Okay, in the window one. Likewise, let us say if there is a directions window to be printed, I have given okay star F2. Okay, not all the direction wastage over here. So once I have defined there, so what are the wages I want to print? So I will manage through my what you say evaluation class 2. Right, so let us say I just open this area. So in the evaluation class 2, I have put F1. So that is the reason it is getting printed over here. If you remove that evaluation class, basic area won't get printed. Okay. So
Uh,
if you miss to configure any of the area, let us say if client requires all the areas, so you have to identify all the custom payments and accordingly you have to create the areas. Okay. For each area you have to create two wages. Okay, and all this stuff. If you forget any of the configuration or mapping in the payslip, the payslip will display like this. Okay, so now if you see your total earnings here is okay 1 lakh 40. Okay, your take home is 1 lakh 41. Okay, so there will be a mismatch in the payslip itself. Okay, so again you have to identify what is happening in the area, you know, this thing, and you have to do the configuration for the area, or you have to identify which waste type was missed out of the payslip, and accordingly you have to map over here. Okay, is it clear?
Yeah, I got it. Now I got it. But I have a question, not related to this one, Krishna. Just a general question.
Okay.
I know this like farm, the remuneration statement, the old style. We can't add the logo. We can't do any fancy stuff. Whereas you can do
Mm-hmm.
everything with the smart form or Adobe form. Why do
Yes.
we really use SC51 rather rather using some smart form or Adobe form? Is there any kind of pros and cons using which one is better?
Smart form is ever better.
Sorry,
Okay. See, P51 is a simple payslip.
right.
Okay. Uh, many there I can say there can be because of uh, there are few other functionalities as well. Okay, I'm not going to tell it is a simple one. If you are thinking in a accounting perspective, okay, you can somewhere you can see you can get these values to a spreadsheet. Okay, where accounts guys okay will get all the payslips to Excel and they will put few of the logics to validate the payslips. That is one point. Okay, so the same way we can't do with a smart form. Okay, or especially with a Adobe form. Okay,
Oh,
that is one of the reason. Okay, so and the other reason is as a functional consultants. Let us say if I pick 10 HR functional consultants, I don't think even I will get one person who can really create a smart form or a Adobe form without the help of a webber.
That is true. Yes. But my
Okay.
question is actually the reason I'm asking Krishna, we are planning to move to smart farm because the logos, nothing is there on the regular farm. We are planning to move to smart farm or Adobe. So yeah, at like accounting point of view, I understand that's not possible and that's not even needed for us. So we are okay. But other apart from that, are there any disadvantages?
No, no, nothing is there. There are few limitations which I can explain. Okay, so ideally, when you are creating a smart form or a Adobe form, you should go to HR forms and you have to create. Okay, for
Right.
HR. Okay, it's
Right.
not through direct SFP or
That's
smart
true.
forms. Okay, so here also there is a limitation. Okay, limitation in sense what we whenever I implemented, see as of now, whenever I am going to a client, okay, I am just suggesting them to go for a Adobe form or a smart form. Okay, here the limitation is when you create a earnings this one over here itself you will default the elements, right? Sorry, default the wages.
Right.
Okay, like where you defaulted the windows
Yeah.
in the window 1 and window 2. Okay, so if you really uses the evaluation class, okay, for the payment, okay, it will be fine. But if you are if you want to, how can I say, if you want to put the waste types, okay, directly in the window, there is a limitation of 100. Okay, that is one part where we faced. Okay, so few of the things, but we can manage within the code. So what we have done, we have removed the printing the this one over here. Okay, so within the 512 we have a waste type table. There we have created a separate entries for that waste type, and within the what you say interface itself, uh, we have called that table and we are printing. Okay, there are few other cases, but it will be a bit, if you are talking about Adobe form, it is simple. Okay. If it is a smart form, really you have to take help of Ababer. Okay, but there's no big difference. You can go it. But going forward, what will happen, sir? If you are, if let us say, if we left if you are a talented guy in your company, if you leave the organization, the other HR guy will come. Whenever there is a payslip issue, okay, he can't resolve directly. Okay, he has to take Aweber, and there is a gap again. Aweber can't understand HR functionality if there is a retro thing or something else. So finally, two brains should work.
Okay. I
Okay,
mean, yeah, technology. I mean,
that is the only drawback. Apart from there is nothing there. We
okay,
can
that's what I'm trying to
properly use
understand.
it.
Things I understand, definitely that is an issue, but other than that, functionality point of view, you think it's not really a problem. Okay, that's
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I think any other questions on the current retro topic? Shweta, is it clear? I think you have not attended the previous session, right?
Yeah, Shri
How many
Krishna.
PCRs we have worked?
I think I'll have to attend it once again. Whenever you have it planned for some other group, maybe I'll attend it.
Okay,
Yeah, because I
sure.
think payroll is an important topic. I don't want to miss it. No?
Okay.
Yeah.
Acha, Shri Krishna, can you also include the part of mapping the waste types and which we have created on the payslip and all everything, and to the posting part also? Um, Hello?
Posting, I am not really. Okay, posting is a configuration part and it depends. Okay, if you want to explain, I can show you where, but if you want to do a real post over here, okay, so FA configuration also I have to do because I have to create a chart of accounts and then I have to create all my GLs. Okay,
Okay,
there is
so
again.
okay, so what you can do is not show the real posting, but just go through that and process steps of posting, what all activities are required, and so that
Sure, sure.
we
Whenever
can.
we have time, I will show that. There is no issue. Okay. So,
basically basic account and GL account mapping. That's what you are asking, right? I think.
Yeah. So, whatever the waste types we are, showing on the payslip, how it is transferred to posting and all, and
Yeah,
so
that's
what,
what symbolic accounts, symbolic the waste
yes,
type to
yes,
symbolic accounts to GL account. I got it. Okay.
perfect.
I think it won't take much time, and there's no big, configuration as well. If you are taking with the individual waste step, okay. If you are taking, but the same thing you have to take in bulk, okay,
Mm-hmm.
for each and every element, okay. And moreover, you have to uh, consider first. You have to understand what waste steps you have to map, okay. All the payments, all the deductions, okay. It can be statutory or non-statutory, okay, basing on the country, okay. So the other part is slash 551 and 552, which is the area part,
Mm-hmm.
okay. And you have to map slash 565, okay, which is your carry over to next month if bank data is missing, okay. Obviously you have to map slash 560, which is net pay, or sorry, it can be 559, okay, which is your, what is it, uh, bank transfer, okay. So first you have to identify what are the elements, what are the waste types you have to map, okay. So once you map, you can have a different approaches, okay. Like, you know, initially you will what you say, you will create your groupings, okay. Let us say if you have different GLs for different employees, okay. That depends on your finance call, okay. You have to check with your finance team. Okay, many times what it will happen is, let us say I have salaried employees and industrial workers, okay. This will be, many times this will be the major uh, difference, okay. For salaried employees, the basic salary should go to a XGL, okay. For industrial workers, it should go to a YGL, okay, within the same waste type, okay. So if those are the cases, first you have to configure your, what you say, groups over here. You can create your own, okay. By default you will be having one and two, okay, because many times this will uh, you know work for us. If not, you can create your own EE group, okay. So then you have to tell the system, okay, for particular PCR grouping, this PCR grouping again, this is the configuration, okay, as per your PCR grouping, okay. So for PCR grouping, okay, 3, here I defined it as, by default it will be 2, okay. Okay, here you have different options as well, okay. For example, now here you can take the different decisions, okay, basing on different, say, employee subgroup or employee group, okay, or
हाँ
personal individual, okay. If
अच्छा
this is the employee group, okay,
अच्छा
let us say you have bifurcated your employee structure, okay, personal structure as employee group as M is for management, N is for non-management, okay. If you want, if the client wants for management staff, it should go to a different GL, okay. For non-management staff, if you want to go to a another GL, okay, you can create like this, okay. And just for others, I am by default I am putting 2. So what are the employee group you created for the accounting? Okay, this will be shown over here. Okay, in the written value. Okay, these are the values from there. Okay, for management I have defined it as 1. Okay, so let us say for non-management I defined it as like this. Okay. Okay, this is the importance of PPMOD, okay, where you can bifurcate, groups, your, GL accounting group, you can say, okay, it is not like really the employee group, okay, basing on the PCR grouping, you can bifurcate the GL accounting group. I think something, okay, okay, so this is the initial basic part, okay, for grouping. Okay, then you have a different approach how you want to create your GL. Okay, uh, you can create a symbolic account wage type wise, individual wage type wise, or all the earnings you can create a, single, means let us say basic HRA, special allowance, okay, or say bonus or some other things are going to only one GL. Okay, for that you can create only one. You can create only one GL. Okay, or for each and every wage you can create a, different symbolic account, okay, with a different characteristics. Okay, C stands for expense, okay, likewise F stands for deduction, okay, so likewise you have several characteristics of a symbolic account. Okay,
So symbolic account is created by HR function consultant or finance.
obviously HR, there is no other guys. All these are HR configuration itself. There is no FI knows, okay, how a wage type is getting pushed to a GL.
Only
Only,
GL code will be sent from FID. Everything else is
yes, only the GL code will be provided by finance.
GL code.
Ah,
Okay.
only GL code, what we will do generally, when you configure the wage types, you will share all the wage type texts, okay, to the
Okay.
finance team, okay, in Excel, and we'll ask them to provide the relevant GL account for all the wages.
Okay.
That's it. So the finance part was done. Remaining, you have to come here. You have to create the wages over here. Okay, means you have to create the symbolic accounts here. Okay, when you create the symbolic account, okay, after creating the symbolic account, you have to go to your individual wage. Okay, and then you have to map it here.
Okay. Okay. So for every wage type, they will create a symbolic account which is created by finance people.
Finance people won't create symbolic account. They will give GL account. We are still not went there. Okay, all this stuff
Okay. Okay.
initially you have
Yeah.
to do. I will tell you where finance will come.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we are just going there. Okay, so all until now whatever we have done we have to do. Okay, symbolic account mapping symbolic account to wage. Okay, all this part is ours. Okay, so posting periods obviously you can run. Okay, this is generation of posting date. Okay, this you have to run the, it's similar to how you will generate, you know, remaining things, or you can maintain few of the posting dates manually or here, or without generating things, when you run the posting document there is a manual date where user can define without running this. Okay, all the options are available. Okay, so then if you go to accounting for AC system, here is the place where you have to assign different things. Okay, this is the balance sheet account, this is the expense account. Okay, especially these two are important places for, any of the earnings you have to assign in the expense. Okay, and the deductions you have to assign in the balance sheet, even if it is a net pay and all this stuff also, means slash 5 and 9, all this stuff you have to assign in balance sheet. So here initially you have to give chart of accounts, which, okay, you can initially check with what is the chart of accounts for that particular company code. Okay, which finance, okay, will provide you. Okay, each company will have a chart of accounts, okay, and there is a HR, finance configuration should be placed over there. Okay, I'm just taking an example over here. I don't know is it this is the right one or not. Okay, once all the right chart of accounts you have, here is the option you can specify. Okay, here if you are specifying this, I am telling the system that the GL which I am going to map, so I'm just saving here. Okay, so now you can see the employee group and you can see all the three employee groups which I have mapped. Okay, remember this the initial one. Okay, so now what I can do is, let us say I have created a symbolic account for basic salary. Okay, you can see all the symbolic accounts which we created earlier here. Okay, so let us say there is a, so I think here I don't get the basic salary because this is the place will put all the expenses. Okay, let us say there is a tax one, for example. Okay, these are the deductions. Okay, if this is the symbolic account which was mapped to a wage type, let us say a deduction. Okay, for okay industrial workers, I will give a example symbolic account. Okay, say something. Okay, I think it's not really created for the same uh, symbolic account. Okay, indirectly it is a wage type. For industrial, I can give some other GL account. Okay. So now what it will happen when you process, so uh, this is the actual configuration when you run the posting document. If okay, basing on your PPMOD, okay, if it is management staff, by default it will pick the amounts will go to this GL. Okay, if it is employee group is N, the amounts will go to this GL. Okay, even this configuration you have to do. Okay, so then the payments in this window. Okay, so this you have to select.
The number 1000 and 2000, that will be given by the finance team. Other than that, everything else
Yes,
will
yes, yes. Okay, specifically you have to gather the requirement stating that basic salary for staff, basic salary for workers, and you have to share it too. Then for basic salary staff, you will give a one all zeros, or basic salary workers they will give some two some other series of GL. Okay, that GL number will be provided by finance. Okay, and our role is to we have to get that particular GL. Let us say if we take the basic, okay, if I am telling it is wages and salary, okay, for industrial workers we have to check with finance what is the GL. Once they provided the GL, let us say, okay, this is the GL for example. Okay, then we have to ask if it is industrial workers, means if it is non-management, this is the wage type. Okay, if it is the management, what is the GL? Okay, then if they have provided like this is the GL for management staff and this is for non-management, then you have to create like this. Got it, Ashwin?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, there are few other things like technical accounts. Okay, that depends on the configuration. Ideally, it will be like whenever you have a vendor account and all this stuff. Okay, there will be technical account. Okay, which you can create and uh, store. Okay, with a key. If there is any of the I think uh, even this technical GL will be provided with you know finance team, where the adjustment amounts or any of the differences amounts will store out here. Okay, whenever there is a split account. So this again you can check with your finance team what I have to assign over here. Okay. I don't think apart from there is a big configuration for posting. Why posting will be typical is the how you identify which waste type should be posted, which waste type should not get posted. For example, as just now we created areas. Okay. Here, let us say if you are doing a live run, even your area wasted will be in your RT. Okay. So we have to make sure that this is not getting posted. Okay. This is only the area which should display in the payslip. Okay. And you have to post, okay, actually the slash 552, which is the total of your area. Okay. So you have to post slash 552, not slash 0120, which is the area. Okay. Because already this is we will post in bulk. If you are posting this one as well, okay, there will be a mismatch of the amounts.
Double posting.
Yeah. Okay. So these kind of errors will be you will face initially if you are new to posting configuration. Okay. So ideally there is no big mathematics under this. All the expenses and all the balance account should become zero. Okay. So that is the simple logic. If you understand that logic, I think posting is very simple. There is no big logic. Okay. Let us say I have basic, say 10,000. Okay. Say I have special allowance 20,000 or say 2,000. Okay. Okay. You can say any other allowances. Uh, say 4,000. Okay. So your total sum, okay, will be this. Let us say I have a deduction one something. Okay. So 2,000. Okay. So say tax 1,000 for example. Okay. I'm just taking. Okay. So your total deductions will be like this. So in posting, how you will have, so finally your net is 13, right? So what you can do here in the posting side, okay, in all expense, okay, you will map all these three should be mapped to your expense side. Okay. So in your balance sheet, okay, this is not deductions. Okay. That is why they'll call it as balance. Okay. In the balance sheet, you have to map this and this as well. Okay. This is your total deductions. Okay. And then again you have to add this also to your balance sheet, which is your 599 bank transfer. It can be, or it can be cash payment, or it can be anything. So finally what it should happen is the total of balance sheet and expense should become zero. Okay. And these things, okay, you will, okay, you will have a negative symbol in your, sorry, okay, you will have a negative symbol over this. So finally if you see this minus this plus this means 16, and this will be having a minus symbol. So finally the balance should be zero. Then only the posting will happen. Okay. Any other questions?
Look,
So I'll quickly explain some other part. Like I want to show something. Okay, I'm just uh, maybe let us say now within the log you are not able to see, you know, the DT table over here, right? Where we can't, really what value is generating. Let us say it is a print. It is not a process. Okay. This is the option. So I will just quickly explain that and I will close the session. Sorry. In the old one, especially, we will face the problem. Okay. So Now if you see here, okay, our PCR is here where we are processing your this thing to DT table. Okay, this is our PCR, right? Okay, here I am processing, I am subtracting from difference table, but unfortunately if you open the this one, you can't have DT, only ORT is there. Okay, so how we can modify the ORT for this particular PCR, means how we can print DT in the output. Okay, so we are using PORT P04. Okay, I will go to PORT. Okay, uh, where I define, I think, sorry, this is input.
Krishna, your screen is
So now I want something in output. Okay, any questions?
I think your screen is not refreshing.
Oh, okay, so right now you can see, right?
Yeah. Now I'm in the program part. Yeah.
I will just come back. If you So if you want to print your for your PCR for a particular function, okay, you have to go to P04. I think even you can remember the table letter, or you can give your particular function and you want to display some output. Okay, so here you can go to new entries and you can specify your PCR. Okay, and you can specify the output thing. Okay, so the same thing I will just try to do.
So you can modify the standard function, Krishna. Here, it's not a
No,
problem.
no, it is not a standard function, okay? I am not going to modify any of the function. These are the output parameters and this is the table. This is the table, okay? Table entry I am making. I am not changing PORT function, okay? This is the output parameters of the function, which is again called from a table, okay?
Actually, Krishna, if you don't mind, can you please start and go slowly, because I think that it's taking time to refresh. You are changing 2, 3, and finally it's like I'm missing so many steps.
Okay. You can see P0 for output, right?
Yeah, now I see that. Yes, output parameters. Okay.
We have output parameters,
Okay.
okay? I am not going to change any of the operation characteristics. I am just going to parameters. So it will straight away take you to a different table.
Okay. When you click on that.
It will take to this table, output parameters.
Okay.
Then I am just going to change. Initially it will be in display, okay? So it will go to change,
Okay.
okay? Now I will go to new entries, okay? So I will give my country grouping, okay? And then I will put my PCR. What is the PCR? Z,
DT. So VT30, I think.
okay? 0, 10, okay? 0, 10,
Fine.
okay? Then I will give a, what is this number? Okay, DT, okay? It's very simple actually. There is nothing to do. You have to define this. That's it. What are the things you do? Okay. So now I will just try to process. Okay. Simple. Right. We got the DTO. can see as we discussed, right? 92,000 minus first in DT. Okay. Similarly, you can write for your second PCR, okay, ZR20. Here what we are doing, okay, here we are adding the things to DT, okay, but again unfortunately because there is no output you can check, okay, here you can't see, I think it's already there. Why? Because we have copied this from this PCR, okay, this one, so you already got this, okay, you can see ZR20 will be there in PRT function, okay, it is function level, okay, in PRT function, if this is the PCR, you can define what are the input tables you require, what are the output tables you.
So you can change the standard function input and output parameters. That's what you are trying to say.
You can add
You can,
your own.
yeah, I mean not remove, but add you can do that.
Yes. Even you can remove, but
Yeah. So that can be a problem because long term. But
yes.
if there is a problem,
Open totally
like
will design. Why it is open is it is simply input and output parameters. It won't change any of the process of that particular function.
right.
Right? So there won't be any big difference. You can add n number of tables.
If you are going for upgrade, is there any problem with it? Because we kind of modify. I mean, it's not like really modifying any
No,
block.
no, no. Uh, I'm not sure, but definitely there won't be any issue.
Oh,
Okay, why? Because it is not program level. Okay, if you are doing any upgrade or anything, there won't be change in your configuration tables, right? There will be change with your standard code. Okay, tables won't change with your upgrade. Okay, this is the configuration table, we can say. Okay, you can see here the TR which was created, it will be a workbench, but it is a configuration table. Okay, why it is workbench? It is cross client. Okay, but it is not the this one. Okay, because when you are going to any of these entries, what it will tell is it is a cross client table, which is for all the clients, but it is a customizing table. You will get a tier. It won't ask you for a package. Okay, it is not a adapt change.
right.
Okay,
So we need to put it in a manually in the CR Krishna in this case because it's not. Do we need to insert it manually into the CR?
actually this is not required. Okay, it is for debugging purpose if required.
Oh,
If you are struggling to understand what is the output of after this PCR, there are several options. This is one of the things. So you can insert by default. You can insert a print function within this PCR, which you can see what is the DT.
right.
Right? That is also option is there. So here I am just telling this is also possible.
Okay.
Okay? Not required. Any other questions? I think that's all from my side. Okay, then we'll catch up next week. Okay, with some of the tax related